Good evening, good evening, good evening. You know why I'm here, guys. Thank you for checking out another one of my weekly Forex analysis. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. You guys don't even understand it. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be making this video right now. And without you guys, I probably wouldn't be as far as head as in trading as I would be. Who knows, you know? But I do put all the appreciation to those who watch me and for those who follow me. I do that every single time. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right back into well, not right back, but let's get into this analysis. So Sunday, Monday, we don't have any news. Tuesday, we have AUD news. We have CPI, and that's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you want to watch that on Tuesday, like 3 hours after the market reopens back up, or 3 hours after Australian session opens. Expect Australian dollar news. We have FOMC this week, so you don't want to watch for the FOMC statement. You want to wait for the press conference. You want to hear or you want to see what they're speaking on before, like, because that's what really will make the market move, because then people understand, okay, what's the FOMC about and all that stuff, right? And then 8:30 on Thursday we have advanced GDP, which, so we'll see what happens. The previous one was 33.4%. That is huge, and the forecast is 4.2%. So we'll see exactly what happens with the US dollar, but as you guys know, I don't really care about looking at technical analysis when I'm looking at these charts. I mean fundamental analysis. I just like going over them so I could understand if there was some type of abnormal movement in the markets of it. Okay, it might have to do with the fundamental analysis, but I don't really care about that stuff. I only look at the charts. So let's go on ahead and look at said charts. Okay, so let's go into the DXY. New week. Let me get rid of my drawings from, well, not all my drawings. Let me get rid of some of these drawings from last week. New week, new opportunities. Okay, so let's go into the weekly time frame. All right, so we can see here that price has tried to, well, not necessarily. We see that 3 weeks ago, price had left this long wick to the downside, and it almost formed a hammer, but it also left a wick to the upside as well. So that's not necessarily something that you will look for a type of reversal on any type of currency pairs or anything like that. But I do see that we had this closing bearish candle on the weekly time frame, but this isn't like scaring me necessarily to say that, oh, US dollar could be falling from right here. Let's go on to the daily time frame. And the same thing on the daily time frame. I'm not really seeing any price action that is trying to say that this wants to drop. You know, there are these levels that price is breaking through. Like if we want to talk about this level right here, although I want to get rid of this, to be honest. Yeah, there's nothing really signifying that price wants to drop. I mean, we did have this candle, but it didn't form a bearish hammer or anything like that. So it's just kind of still going through the motion. It's still kind of trying to figure out exactly what it wants to do. But personally speaking, I do still want the US dollar to drop. I mean, to pop, to go to the upside. Um, Inverted head and shoulders on what time frame? Because I did kind of see that, did get a kind of a feeling on that with the daily time frame right here. Kind of an inverted head and shoulders maybe, but I'm not really crazy over it, to be honest. If price does come down here, then for sure I'd be like, okay, yeah, then definitely inverted head and shoulders. But for a price to come down over here, I'm not the craziest about it. Let me take a look. Higher time frame, yeah. I mean, it could definitely, because if you do add a fib, although this isn't an impulsive move, but if you do add a fib from this low to this high, then it most likely is going to match up. Yeah, look at that. It does definitely match up with price coming down here and then scooping to the upside. So that inverted head and shoulders on the daily time frame definitely looks nice. Um, I'm not crazy over it, and that's only because and this is what I was seeing during the um, during the oops during last week, was that from this impulsive move, if you want to count this one right here, from this impulsive move, right now this is exactly where we actually want to be looking for buys on Euro US. I mean on the US dollar. But dang, for price to push down here, that's not actually. This doesn't look bad, because I could definitely see price coming down to these equal lows, sweeping up liquidity, and then pushing to the upside. So it actually looks really good. I like that inverted head and shoulders on the daily time frame. now that I'm really looking at it. But again, guys, from this impulsive move from here to the push to the upside, I mean, it's not impulsive, but I kind of still see that price may be looking for the push to the upside, like right now, type of thing. But again, that's just how I'm looking at it. I'm also in a Euro USD buy from last week. I mean, sell from last week. So that's even more of a reason why I'm like, oh, I want to sell this because it fits my bias. But I'm definitely looking at this though. If price doesn't respect this fib right here, then pops to the upside, I still definitely, like I said, I would love for price to drop down here, grab some liquidity, and make a quick move to the upside. That would actually be super cash. And again, it's FOMC this week, so that's very much a possibility. This gap right here that happened, it never ended up getting filled. This one did. But this one over here didn't get filled, so that's something that I'll be definitely watching out for. But again, guys, I kind of want to see Euro USD push to the upside. Let me go ahead and look at arbitrage, see what arbitrage has for me. So going to the daily time frame, and this is what I'm looking at the most. I'm looking the most at this buy that was called right here, right? Which is even another reason why I want to see Euro USD kind of, I mean, the DXY kind of pop to the upside. I've been saying that I wanted it to, yeah, last week I said I wanted to go to the upside, retest the RSI line, then go to the upside. It's still been holding at this RSI line slash lower danger zone right here, and it's been holding very well. If it would have dropped out of this, then I would have been like, okay, maybe not, right? But with it still being at this upper danger zone, I mean lower danger zone right here, and the RSI line, all I want to see is this go bullish. Now, the Level Pro and the Arbitrage Z haven't called for the buy yet, so it would be a little premature to buy it right now. But again, guys, with that fib and how it's set up right now, I could definitely see price pushing to the upside right now. 4-hour time frame, not looking great. 1-hour time frame, definitely calling for buys. Oh man, I wish I would have seen this. Well, I did see it during the weekend, and that's why I even got into an EU sell even more. But yeah, so we have on the 1-hour time frame starting to call for buys. So let's see how this plays out. I'm definitely looking for the buys, but again, if price can push down even lower to sweep out this liquidity that's down here, then I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down for, so price, boom, grab liquidity, push to the upside. So it would be kind of like if I do get into my Euro USD buy and this ends up happening, I mean sell, and this ends up happening, then most likely I'm going to get wicked out and price is just going to continue to the upside. So that's what I have for the DXY. Let me go on over to Euro USD. All right, and so I'm just going to keep this trade from last week and bring it over to this week, because usually what I do is like, oh, if I take a trade from if I have a trade from past week, I'm not going to bring it into this week. So, but kind of the same thing. I'm not even going to look at the, well, I'll look at the weekly, why not? Hide that. Weekly is not really telling me that it wants to reverse. So daily time frame, nothing over here telling me it wants to reverse. I still possibly see price coming up right here, which at the same time, what does that match up with? It matches up with price kind of dropping down a little lower. Well, not kind of, but I do still see price dropping down a little lower. So I do see, yes, the possibility of 1.22527 being hit. But again, if that happens, then I'm going to be out of the trade. I'm already going to be out of the Euro USD sell by that time. My stop loss would have got hit at 50 pips. Price will pop up a little higher. Then I'll look to buy. I'll look to sell again right here. And if I look to sell again, price hits my stop loss up here at 1.23600. Well, then I don't know what to say about the about EU at this point. But yeah, guys, that's exactly how I'm still feeling about this. Not really changed my mind about it yet. Let's go on over to arbitrage. So arbitrage hasn't called for that sell quite yet, but it's getting there. It is definitely looking like it wants to set up for the sell, but it's not quite there yet. 15-minute time frame actually wants to go on to a buy. So, and again, guys, if you want, you can get out of that Euro USD sell that I'm in right now. You can, by all means, I'm in it. I'm still holding it. I like following my own bias, and also I've been waiting for this because look, it's the daily time frame sell. Same thing. Prices called for this sell. It's holding at this upper danger zone. The break and retest, like how I usually want happens. So I'm playing this out. And even if you want to take a good swing trade with Euro USD, you can do this. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Why is that there? You can go ahead, take your trade all the way to 1.81187 and put your stop loss just like slightly like 1.23650 or something like that. You're risking 200 pips to get 347. And again, this is for a swing. So this is for my swing traders. This isn't for the intraday or day traders because they'll be like, oh, well, no, this is taking too long. Yeah, this is going to take a while. This probably might take at least 2 or 3 weeks to play out. If it is going to play out, you know? And so I'm going to go ahead and set my alert to tell me when to get out regardless. Oops, wrong one. And we'll see if it does tell me to get out early. Then I'll be like, all right, just take my L and keep it pushing. All right, so that's for EU. Let's go on over to GBP USD. Take that off, take that off, take that off, take that off. Put that on. So GU, I had done my review on why this trade went wrong. And I still kind of, like, and I don't know if you guys watched it or anything on my channel, but when it comes to GU right now, I'm kind of still looking at it to drop, you know? I mean, and also the DXY definitely has a lot to do with why I'm looking at GU to drop. But I don't know. I just feel like, well, hold on. I'm actually going to keep this. I just feel like on a daily time frame, no, weekly time frame, sorry. On a weekly time frame, price just doesn't want to go to the upside. It's just leaving a lot of wicks. It's just leaving 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks up here at this major, like, supply zone. Yeah, it's at this major supply zone, and it's just been leaving wicks right here. If price breaks this and it closes over it on the weekly time frame, then yes, I would absolutely say by all means this looks like it's going for a buy. But until that happens, I can't say that because it still needs to break through this this supply zone, and it's been holding here for almost a month now. So that's why, yeah, although I got wicked out of my trade last week, I'm still holding. Well, not holding. I'm still having the same bias that price can literally drop from here. So I like seeing that this price dropped and then it's kind of retesting the same supply zone that I was talking about. And we even had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had a whole 24 hours where price was over this demand zone, but price ended up coming back down. And now it just kind of looks like to me it wants to form a head and shoulders pattern. So this is kind of like what I'm saying, like until like on the weekly time frame, that this ends up, yes, I see those wicks, don't worry. If price ends up, I kind of have to change this color, huh? Right there. If price ends up breaking through this to the upside again, then absolutely, I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm chilling. I'm not going to try to trade you and all that stuff. But as of right now, in the weekly time frame, I don't think price wants to break this. You know, I could definitely see price doing something like this where it pops up, goes up a little more, maybe like 1.3715163 and then dropping. But what I'm probably going to end up doing is, actually, I'm not going to probably end up going to do it. I am going to do it. I'm going to take another crack at it. I'm going to take another crack at it like a crack at it. I just had to give those bars out. 70 pips. I'm okay with risking 70 pips. To me, it's not about the pips. It's all about the percentage. And I'm taking this down into this for a swing. If you're looking for the swings, I want to take this bad boy down to like down here. Because again, I'm not really certain that price necessarily wants to climb up that high just yet. Not saying that it can't happen. It's a very much possibility that I take this L. But it's a 1 to 9.86. I'm okay with taking that risk, especially with that head and shoulders. That's what it looks like to me, at least, forming, and price acting like it wanted to break out, but it never did. Then yeah, I'm just gonna take that. And if I take the L, It is what it is, man. I'm not tripping. I'm risking like 1% of my account on this. I'm okay. I'm not in the business of taking. I mean, of being right. I'm in the business of having high probability setups and playing them out. And if I die, I die. Anyways, that's for GBP. Oh wait, I'm tripping. I didn't even go on arbitrage for GBP USD. Um, I know the daily time frame and the 4 hour time frame are not calling for any type of buys or any type of sells. So that's that. I like that it's holding at this upper danger zone. Ooh, on the 1 hour time frame, it called for a sell. If I could get a retest of this RSI line, that might be nice. 15-minute time frame calling for a buy, but it's probably going to end up turning around shortly. So again, guys, I'm more looking at this from a technical analysis point of view, and I want to see this drop. I'm definitely down to take this trade, like probably right now. I'm gonna do my analysis and I'll go ahead and enter those trades later for myself. If I don't get the position that I want, it is what it is. But yeah, even for price to come up, like again, all the way up to 1.37052 or a little higher, I don't doubt it one bit. If you want a better risk to reward ratio, I would look for this right there. Put your stop loss at those highs, 1.37500. Now your risk to reward becomes like a 1 to 20, which is ridiculous. That's funny how it comes to 1 to 20. But yeah, overall, I definitely want to see on a higher time frame for this to drop and for it to take a while to down this. This could take months, honestly. But I'm not feeling the buy until the weekly candle closes over my supply zone right here. So that is for GBP USD. Let me go ahead and go on to AU. So AU had a good opportunity on this sell. Zero draw, well, virtually zero drawdown. Price ended up dropping good, so that's cooling. Close that off. Oops, cancel. Right now, well, first of all, let me delete some of these things that are right here. And I have to keep what I have up because it just matches so well with this. So kind of have the same thoughts on AU right now. Like I do want to see price push up a little higher, but I'm seeing like this doji candle on the weekly time frame. Although I feel like the wick to the downside is way bigger than the wick to the upside. But again, same thing with GPUSD. Right now, I'm just seeing price holding at this supply zone right now, and we could see that price had done that previously of this week's, and then ended up flopping to the downside, right? And so I'm kind of seeing the same thing. Price has just been consolidating on the daily time frame up around this supply zone, and I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe it's time for this thing to actually give us a chance for a fall. I would prefer that, but if it doesn't happen, it is what it is. Daily time frame, I mean, kind of already have this. I can't even look at the daily time frame right now. Kind of already have the setup. Setup's already playing out. 70% profits once price goes down there. If you're still in this trade, I'm not personally. Again, most of the time I usually just carry out new trades in the beginning of the week. But I could definitely see price coming back up to 0.77500 right here. Because if you're looking at it from the flip side of things, because I'm no longer looking at that. If you look at it from the flip side of things, let's say from this buy, from the low to the high, price jumped off of the 61.8 fib right here. Could definitely pop up to the upside. That's why I said 0.77540 is more of an area that I'll be looking at to see if AU gets there before I decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into another sell on AU. Most likely I'm not, to be quite honest with you. I just want to see some type of, like, I really want to see AU break here. Let me get my face out the way. I want to see AU break these lows and close under, not a liquidity grab, just for it to close these lows and then retest it before I think about actually getting into it, personally speaking. And that's just because, again, right now it's too early to tell if AU wants to turn around and go bearish long term. It's way too early for that. This is barely in the 4 hour. We just see a whole bunch of consolidation. So we're gonna wait and see what happens here, right? Like last week, AU ended up dropping a little lower. It took me out of my trade, but then ended up popping to the upside. So I was kind of upset about that. But I mean, like I said, I'm just really watching and seeing what AU is going to do right here. So let's go ahead and go over to arbitrage. 15-minute time frame, looks ugly. Don't care for it. 1 hour time frame, same thing. 4 hour time frame might be looking a little better. Nope, it's not. It's holding under the RSI line though. It could possibly pop, but again, I'm not really caring to look at that. And the daily time frame, nothing's giving it. So arbitrage right now for AU, don't even think about it. Personally speaking, I'm just gonna go ahead and, like I said, hold off on AU. Not really gonna look at it like that. EA, I've already gone over this trade on my channel. Why I lost it, yada yada, all that good stuff. Price faked us to the downside. That's cool. And weekly time frame. See what the weekly talking about. So the weekly demand zone, heavy demand zone right here, that it was wicking. It left wicks on the weekly time frame, and it could possibly be making that push to the upside. That could have been just like a small liquidity grab to the downside before pushing to the upside. This looks like a head and shoulders still to me. A huge head and shoulders. That's funny. But personally speaking, I do kind of think that EA might be making that push to the upside. Just like how I said with AU, I want the push to the downside. Kind of seeing the same thing on EA, but I do see that it's struggling to break these highs right here. So let's go into the 4 hour time frame and see what kind of play that I would look for. This kind of looks like to me, I mean, double bottom. It sucks to suck. Double bottom, push to the upside. I know that this is what my man Peyton is looking for on EA, most likely. Although it is very much bearish, I still think that this is what he'll be looking for. And that's kind of the same thing I'll be looking for an entry on EA. Is if price can push to the downside, then I'll probably take it to the upside. And if it breaks out, then it is what it is. I'm not going to try to get into it, though. Definitely don't want to get into it right here. So if that happens, then I'm all for it. But again, this is just what if AU decides to drop from where it's at right now, I doubt that EA is gonna like drop. It's probably just gonna end up pushing to the upside, which is cool. That's totally fine. I'm totally with it. Let's go on over to arbitrage real quick. Daily time frame, we have nothing for it as of yet. 4 hour time frame called for a buy. Yeesh. I mean, and again, probably would just want a retest of the RSI line, but I don't like how this is looking on the 4 hour. 1 hour time frame setting up for a sell. Nice, nice. And the 15 minutes already calling for a sell. All right, so probably what I'll end up doing is I'm going to set up an alert for this, actually. When it comes down and calls for a sell on Euro AUD, I want the retest, and then I'll look for a potential sell down to the my retracement levels, where I would then be looking for buys for EA for me to play them through. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. Put this on my watch list. Blue's my watch list. And then I'll be watching that for tonight, right? Go to GBP AUD. GA. Interesting. Dang. That sucks to suck. Anyways, weekly time frame. Been extremely bearish. It's been just consolidated basically in between these zones right here. Daily time frame. Prices came to my area where I'm actually kind of looking for sells on GA, to be quite honest with you. And this helps with my bias with GBP USD. I definitely would want to see price like just hold at these levels for a potential sell. This is what I talked about last week. I was like, right now, all I'm really kind of seeing on GA is for price to push up and then come to my zone right here at 1.77700 and then drop. It never got to 1.77700, but it is what it is. I'll still be watching out for that, but I do think that this is probably going to drop. And it's at the 61.8 fib right now. So for those who like trading off the 61.8, there you go. Could definitely drop down. It's very bearish, and it's not looking like it wants to break this structure for it to go bullish. So until that happens, My bias still stays the same. I want to sell GA, but I'm not going to personally trade it right now. It's just a little too sloppy. It's just been doing a lot of sideways, moving to the upside. 1 hour time frame, yada yada. Nah. 4 hour, this played out nicely, although it took forever. Daily time frame. Daily time frame might be calling for a buy here. Okay, I'll be watching for that. That's actually really interesting to see that, because now that makes me want to be like, okay, maybe my daily swing trade for GA won't be playing out, but we'll have to see what happens. So again, not really crazy over GA right now. Put on my watch list, sure, and I'll look at it later on. But again, I'm not too crazy over it. Euro GBP. I kind of still have the same analysis on it, guys. That is just probably going to push up to the upside. Especially with how it played us. It definitely played us hardcore on the weekend. On last week. Ended up hitting our stop loss at 26 pips. And then dropped even lower. Which is why stop losses are your best friends. Because you could have even lost more. But now, I'm kind of actually getting head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders vibes right now. Let me get rid of all this right here. Ooh, what did I? Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't even know what that was. But anyways, again, guys, I'm kind of seeing inverted head and shoulders vibes on Euro GBP, and so what I'm kind of want to see. What I would want to see more, first and foremost, is for price to actually, let me come in a little closer, zoom in. What I kind of actually want to see is for price to come back into this range where price ended up taking off. I want price to come back and retrace to 0.8856, and then a continuation to the upside, which again helps my bias with these GBP pairs. And with me wanting them to fall, although if it does this type of move, then probably my GBP pairs would start rising a little bit before they fall. But yeah, guys, like just me looking at the weekly time frame, I don't know why I drew any of that stuff. It's still holding right here at this zone that it came and respected once, twice, 3 times. This could be the 4th time, pop to the upside again. And so that's really what I'm looking for on EG. Europe, I knew that's what you were looking for. Well, you already told me, but still, kind of the same thing. But again, I could definitely also see that this can be a possible head and shoulders. This is the left and right shoulder right here. Price coming down to right here instead of coming down here. I would hate that. And then this is the inverted head and shoulders right here. This is the inverted head. So price can definitely look to respect this line right here, which is why I'm going to go ahead and leave an alert. Only once, create. And if that alert gets hit, then I'll be like, okay, let's see if EG is going to respect here. If EG respects here, I might fuck around and actually like take a risky buy right there. Sorry for the language, by the way. I might take a risky buy right here and maybe put my stop loss. I hate putting my stop loss here because I feel like 9 times out of 10 it's going to get hit. But I might put my stop loss right here and then try again with the better position and then just take it to the upside. But we'll see how things go when price gets there. But this is definitely going to be on my watch list for sure, on my watch list. Okay. Oh, and let me go and look at arbitrage real quick. One time. Daily time frame, nada. 4 hour time frame. About to call for that buy though. And ooh, hold on, boy. How do I know when price is respecting a zone? When I start seeing rejections on it, when I start to see that price isn't going any lower, and I start to see that price is leaving wicks on that zone, that's when I know that it's respecting it. But a wick can literally be, a candle could literally be leaving wicks on a zone and then end up breaking it the very next candlestick. So you also have to watch for that, but that's how I usually look to see, okay, this is respecting this zone. If it leaves a candle or two there and it closes above it, I will take the trade. And if a candle closes under, that's when I'll be like, okay, my bias has to switch now. So it's always good that you don't marry a bias. You always want to be able to switch from one bias to another. And so 4 hour time frame, again, 4 hour time frame, it hasn't called for a buy necessarily, but with it closing over this RSI line, like you can see over here, it almost closed over the RSI line, but it didn't. So it kept dropping. Now that it's over it, kind of wanting to see what it's going to do for a buy. It might end up calling for a buy very next candle, so got to watch out for that. 1 hour time frame hasn't called for a sell or anything yet. Let me actually get rid of all these drawings. 15-minute time frame call for a sell, but it might be respecting down here. So again, kind of have to watch and see what EG is going to do. Personally speaking, for the GBP pairs and for me trading those GBP pairs and like selling them right now, I definitely want EG to start buying like right this second. That's just because I'm selling GBP pairs though. And usually with EG, if EG is dropping, then a GBP pair would start to go bullish. So that's just me, and the 4 hour kind of is making me agree with that sense as well. So if this happens, for sure, I'm getting in the trade. But if it doesn't, I won't be mad. Euro NZD. Okay. I had done this markup for somebody. They were asking if EN is looking good for a buy. I'm like, I mean, it kind of does, but it's like you'll be catching a falling knife, and not everybody is good at catching falling knives. It wouldn't have hit stop loss, so you would be in profit. But if that person's on here, then there you go. Hey, it didn't stop you out. Daily time frame. Price literally came back up and hit this trend line that I've been talking about for weeks now. When I wanted it to come and hit my alert right here at 1.71435, it didn't get there. It hit that weekly trend line, retested it, then dropped again. That weekly time frame, I like this doji candle that I'm seeing, although the wick to the upside is bigger than the wick to the downside. But I mean, let me lower this because I don't like how it is right there. So daily demand zone or weekly demand zone, price came up, respected it. Kind of looks like a head and shoulders to me right now, guys. Kind of definitely looks like a head and shoulders to me right now, especially with it coming to this trend line that I had drawn, although I don't care for trend lines, and respecting it like that. This kind of looks like a head and shoulders to me, so I kind of feel like this still might drop, so I'm not going to trade it this week again. I told you guys that only way that I'll be looking to trade it is if price comes back up to 1.71435. It never did, so I mean, this head and shoulders, it's looking like price is going to drop. But if EG is going to end up going bullish, then I don't think that EN is going to be like, oh, well, you're going bullish, I'm not, I'm going to go bearish. I don't think it's going to do that. So kind of what I'm looking at for EN at this point in time is for price to actually do a little move like this first. I do see this head and shoulders. I'm not going to trade this. If you want to, by all means. If price comes back here and shows some respect, maybe I will trade it. Who knows? Maybe, but it's going to be super hard for me to press that button to buy, because all I'm seeing right now is just bear signs on EG. So, I mean on EN. So, I mean, again, I'll be watching it, but I'm not crazy over it by any means necessary. Okay, GBP JPY. I'm actually still in this trade, to be honest with you. So GJ, I had said that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my stop loss above these highs that it previously made. I still wanted to take it to the downside. That's from last week. I'm still in it. So I'm just pointing that out right now as I delete everything. Hold on, boy. What did I just do? Control Z. I just need to know that. Control Z. Or as people from every other country other than the States, Control Z. But anyways, just go on to the weekly time frame. Kind of the same thing on the weekly time frame that I've been talking about the other GE pairs. Price can literally still hold up here because we can see that this is the 78.6 area where price has just been battling and like struggling at for the past 2 weeks to break through. Now, for price to pop to the upside, very much realistic. Very much a realistic thing to happen. But I kind of want to see this happen first before if it does do that. Now, this is just me. I don't think it's going to happen, especially since this is not an impulsive move. But a push to 135.678 and then continuation to the upside, that would be ideal for me. That would be most ideal for me, as in, like I said, this would be if its price is going to go bullish. But, I mean, as of right now, it's just been kind of playing low-key for the past couple of weeks. Daily time frame, leaving a lot of wicks up here. I don't know. This looks like it could still pop. This definitely looks like it could still go bullish. I'm still going to hold the trade because I'm in it. And if I die, I die. I like having that mentality. But this is not looking great for any type of buy necessarily. I mean, you could look at it like this from this recent push to the upside. Look, price literally just left a wick at the 61.8 and pushed to the upside. It's like, it looks like it's going to go bullish. But again, I'm clearly crazy and I'm going against the trend and I'm buying it. I mean, I'm selling it, but you can see here that price with trend lines, they still be working. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, price can definitely hold right here. If it breaks this trend line and you're looking to sell it right now, if it breaks this trend line, just get out. Don't even hold it. It's not worth it. I'll tell you that right now. I should have got out when I had the chance. But yeah, we could definitely see what happens here. This is a pendant, but it's coming from a bullish move, so this just looks like it might push to the upside as well. So guys, let's see what happens. Euro GBP, I want Euro GBP to personally drop right now. I mean, pop right now so that this can drop. But again, I just got to be patient and see what happens. Not crazy over leaving this on my watch list, but I'm in the trade. So again, I'm just going to just put it there because I'm in it. Usd Chef. Oh, before I continue with Usd Chef, let me go on to arbitrage real quick. See what arbitrage is saying. Yeah, this is a no-go, Loki. Let me just remove drawings. Daily time frame, not calling for a sell. 4 hour, nothing. This 1 hour is probably what's keeping me in this trade because it still hasn't broken through my my upper danger zone right here, which I use as a moving resistance. And so if it respects this, then I'll be like, yeah, I'm still going to be in it. My stop loss is at these highs, so I still have a lot of room to go. My entry was like probably like right down here at 141.900 or something like that. But still, GJ, it's not looking the greatest. So just watch out for that. It's USD CHF. Let us see. I kind of still want to see price push to the downside on this, to be honest. I still want that push to the downside on USD CHF, 0.88116. That'd be nice for me to get into. But me seeing that price literally came back up and just respecting this makes me want to believe that for sure more now. That price is going to drop and then push up to grab the liquidity up here. That's kind of what I want to see on Usd Chef. And if it does drop down here, again, what does it look like? Inverted head and shoulders. So let's see how that plays out. Not too much talk on USD Swiss. I mean the Swiss francs. Now price can definitely hold right here and push to the upside after calling this buy on Usd Chef, which I mean I'm already in Euro USD, so this wouldn't even be terrible. If this pushed to the upside, more times than not, EU is going to push to the downside as well. So let's see how things play out on Usd Chef as well. I'm not going over tacos because it's out of here. For those who caught it at the bottom, you caught that. For those who unfortunately took the L from this swing that I had posted previously, I apologize. But yeah, basically what I'll kind of be looking for tacos. and it's the usual stuff. Why is this right here? Push to the downside, continue to the upside. Oops. Continuation to the upside. That's kind of what I'm seeing on tacos. Don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, that's what I'll be looking for. Let's go on to gold. All right, so two things. Before I go on to gold, I just want to explain to you guys why I'm not necessarily bullish on this right now. So weekly time frame, let's go on to arbitrage. Weekly time frame, calling for this sell, left the wick right there. I love seeing blue candles for the start of a trend change, especially multiple ones. You see one right here, you see another one right there, but the candle right next to it, they had ended up stopping. But so when I'm seeing multiple blue candles like this, I'm just like, yo, gold might end up falling. And you guys know that my edge in this market is arbitrage, so I'm kind of feeling like gold might drop. Let's go on to over here though. Daily time frame, on the other hand, have this huge bullish candle, and then you have this huge wick with a nice hammer to the upside. Although if this was a shorter hammer, it would be so much better. But it's not looking the greatest. I mean, yeah, I mean, like from this position that I had gotten into, I'm in profit. I actually gotten out of that trade. But again, I have a lot of faith in arbitrage, and me seeing that just makes me not want to even try to sell gold. I mean, to buy gold right now. I just kind of want to look for sells, and it's came back up to this zone that it previously had broken through with all of this. Kind of made an ugly M pattern, then dropped. Ugly one, then dropped. This could be the retest for another push to the downside. Realistically speaking, close all these off. But I still kind of want to see that daily time frame. We remember how price. No, let me go on the weekly. Remember how price literally was like left a huge ass wick to the upside. This weekly candle right here, that's what's telling me more that price does not want to keep pushing to the upside. After seeing it that on that week, but I would have rather definitely seen price come up to 1912 or 1915 and then drop. But we might not get that. We might not get that. And if price can hold right here, then yeah, I'm just looking for drops at this point with gold for reals. So, and again, I got out of this trade. I don't think I'm necessarily going to trade it. But if I was, then if I were to like take a position right here. But again, I don't know if I want to trade this or not. To be honest with you, it just doesn't look that great. I like that it's holding at this resistance right here, but it doesn't just look good to me, you know? That's a 1 to 2 risk to reward. If you want it, then sure, by all means, take it back down to these lows. But again, I'm not crazy over it. I'm really not crazy over it. Higher time frame wise, I'm definitely looking for bears. But right now, I mean, hey, if you want to take this trade, actually, I'll probably take it with you guys, so that you can get some confidence. But I'm probably gonna end up taking it to these lows. So that's for gold. I'm definitely more bearish than bullish. And if my stop loss gets hit, most likely it'll just come to this trend line and then drop again. So we'll see how that plays out for sure. But I'm definitely not, like I said, I'm not crazy over it. S&P, this was a trade that I was in, and it is doing, damn, I should have never got out. But anyways, it is what it is. S&Ps, I say this every single week, so it's like the same thing. Like, price is just making higher highs, higher high, higher high, higher highs. It's kind of not the greatest idea to sell. But if you were to try to sell this, I would suggest probably doing it very shortly, because it is coming up to a fib zone. But again, I'm not going to sell it because it's just been making higher highs. Like, why would you go and why would you try to go and buy, I mean, why would you go and try and sell long term for things that are just creating higher highs? Wait for some structure to break and then make that decision, you know? So, again, S&P is probably going to come up to these highs, make another high, and then drop later on in the week, like on Tuesday or Wednesday. So, I'll see how that goes. Dow Jones, I had drawn up a trade that blew up to smoke, but kind of the same thing on Dow Jones. just making higher highs. Why would you try to trade it? I mean, it's not making higher highs as of right now. It's just been consolidating really, but again, way too early to call for sells on those. Way too early. And I had done I've done an analysis on Ripple and stuff. I still really want Ripple to drop. I don't think it is going to do that anytime soon. Not until the trials with the SEC and stuff like that. But Bitcoin been playing out nicely. Got an entry right there, up about 2,539 pips. And Ethereum is looking really good. It's broken all-time highs. This is the trade that is outperforming. Broken previous all-time highs. I gave the play out. If I were you, I'd probably look to take some partial profits, like maybe at least 30 or 40%. But yeah, let this bad boy ride, man. This was a perfect call, like super sniper shot. We gave the call out. If you guys took the trade, congrats. But other than that, is there any other pairs that anybody wants me to look at? Any other pairs? Any questions, comments, concerns? I'm glad that it's making these higher highs on the 4-hour time frame. Straight cash money. No questions? Alright guys, well thank you for checking out my analysis. I appreciate it. If you do want to see more of my, if you aren't in my channel, then I suggest looking at this later on today and being able to get it to my channel where you can get free trade ideas and stuff like that. And yeah guys, I definitely probably would want to see 1,770 get hit by tonight. Let me actually look at what Litecoin's doing. Yeah, I like seeing this. Litecoin finally broke these highs. I've been in a trade all weekend with this, and it didn't break these highs, and it was just annoying me. But it finally did. I'm so happy. I dropped the ball, though, low-key at the same time. Paying, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, guys. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Y'all have a good night, and let's make some money this week. Later.